be honest with you, after 6 weeks I still didn't felt ready. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you're doing well. For today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm gonna talk about sex postpartum, and I'm also gonna talk about what I did to have such an easy labor, because I've been getting a lot of questions about those topics, especially about sex postpartum. There's a lot of girls curious out there to know how the sex postpartum is gonna feel. To be honest with you, I was very curious when I was pregnant to know that. I'm gonna be talking about that later in the video. First, I want to tell what I did to have such an easy labor, because my labor was pretty easy compared with most women. If you watch my birth story video, you know that there's 3 things that I did in order to have an easy labor. I actually thought that my labor was gonna be super challenging because you always hear these crazy stories, you know, so I was very anxious, but thank God everything went very well, way better than I expected. Anyway, as I was saying, there's 3 things that I did in order to have an easy labor. And one of those was working out. We all hear about the benefits of working out when you're pregnant. Working out, it was probably the thing that helped me the most in order to have an easy labor. The stronger you are, the more strength you're gonna have to push your baby out. I pushed my baby in 5 minutes. I was very surprised. So working out, weightlifting definitely helps a lot. But you gotta be careful, obviously, when you're pregnant, to not lift as much weight. You're carrying a baby, so things are different, but don't quit weightlifting. I know a lot of pregnant women still ask themselves, should I weightlift when I'm pregnant? And yes, you should never stop weightlifting. Obviously, you gotta change a lot of things, like you cannot lift as much weight. There's a lot of exercises. Oh, my phone was about to fall. Sorry. And there's a lot of exercises that you need to change when you're pregnant. For example, I didn't feel comfortable doing any single leg exercises because of my balance was very off, and I didn't feel comfortable doing any jumping exercises, so I had to avoid those exercises. I honestly advise to weightlift when you're pregnant, because yeah, that's gonna help a lot. And if you never worked out in your life, I highly recommend just walking a lot. That's another thing that I did, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't very consistent with my workouts when I was pregnant, because a lot of days I was sick, I was just puking and feeling nauseous. So in those days I tried my best to stay active and just go for a walk. I have a Fitbit, so I try to count my steps every day. I try to give between 8,000 to 10,000 steps. Walking also helps the baby getting into the right position for labor. So if you never worked out in your life, try walking. And if you're a person that works out, in those days that you really feel like you cannot work out, go for a walk. Just listen to your body. So I highly recommend staying active. Another thing that I did when I was getting to the end of my pregnancy, 37 weeks, 38 weeks, was to start eating more spicy foods. Throughout my whole entire pregnancy, if I had spicy foods, I used to get upset, but at the end of my pregnancy, I was craving spicy foods a lot. And it actually worked, because the night before I had Alice, I was eating pad thai and it was very spicy. And that night I felt her kicking a lot and moving a lot. A lot of people say that eating spicy foods helps the baby to come out, and in my case it did. And another thing that I was doing that a lot of people also talk about is having sex. Having sex really helped the baby to come out, let me tell you, because I was having sex every day actually. Oh, Alice is awake. I wasn't expecting this. Life of a man, you never know what's coming. I'm back. Kevin is already home, so he's taking care of Atlas now, and I have some time to conclude this video. So 3 things to recap that really helped me out having an easy labor was staying active, weightlifting, walking a lot, eating spicy foods at the end of my pregnancy, and having lots of sex throughout the pregnancy. And to conclude this video, let's talk about sex postpartum. So as you know, or don't know, you cannot have sex 6 weeks after you have your baby because everything down there needs to recover. To be honest with you, after 6 weeks I still didn't felt ready to have sex. Not only because I was in my period, but because I felt super weird down there. It took a long time to recover. I had sex when I was 8 weeks postpartum because that's when my period stopped. It felt a little bit weird. Kevin says that he doesn't feel anything different, but I did felt different. I felt like it was more, I don't know, more dry. It's not as wet. Yeah, it was a little bit painful, and after having sex, when I went to pee, it burned a lot. You know, when you lose your virginity or when you stop having sex for a long time and then you do it again and it starts burning. Yeah, that's the feeling that I have now every time that I have sex. And another weird thing that has been happening lately is that every time I have sex, I cannot control my muscles down there. I can squeeze and everything, but then after, when I want to pee, if I don't go right away, I just pee myself because I have no control down there after I have sex. I don't know if it's because you work your muscles down there. Probably that's the reason. If I don't go right away to the washroom, I pee myself. So I still feel like that 11 weeks postpartum. I definitely feel way more pleasure now than when I was like 9 weeks postpartum, 8 weeks postpartum. So things are getting back to normal. With no gym, no sex, and just with a baby 24/7, I was struggling a little bit. I wasn't the best version of myself. So that's all I wanted to talk for today's video. If you have any more questions, leave them down below and I will get back to you. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to support my channel, and don't forget to subscribe because I want to see you in my next video.